19-year-old Tara had a bike route that she rode almost daily. She went on this route with her mom sometimes, but her mother had recently decided to stop riding as she had been harassed by a driver. Tara was unfazed and continued. She would disappear on this very ride on September 20th, 1988. Hi everyone, today we'll be talking about the case of Tara Calico, who disappeared on her usual bike ride one afternoon in Belen, New Mexico. Despite efforts from law enforcement and family, her whereabouts continue to remain unknown. If you're interested in dark and mysterious stories, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on all notification buttons to stay updated on all of our latest videos. Let's continue. Born on February 28, 1969 in Belen, New Mexico, Tara was a second-year honors student at University of New Mexico. She was studying to be a psychologist and worked at a local bank to help pay for her education. She lived with her mother and stepfather. She was also popular amongst her peers as she was beautiful and presented herself well. Tara had a full schedule for that day. She was going on her usual bike ride and then she had to meet her boyfriend for a tennis date at 12:30 p.m. Finally, she had to attend lessons at UNM at 4 p.m. At 9:30 a.m., after getting ready for the day, Tara borrowed her mother's pink bicycle for the ride. As she left, she turned around to her mother, Patty, and told her, "If I'm not back by 12, come looking for me." Patty agreed, knowing how packed her schedule for the day was. Tara then put on her headphones and left her home. At 12 noon, Patty listened out for the sounds of Tara returning home but heard nothing. Worried, she hopped into her car and drove along Tara's route. There was no sign of her or any of her belongings. Patty quickly involved the police after hearing from Tara's boyfriend that she did not show up for their date. A search was launched the very next day. What they found sparked worry instead of hope. Patty found Tara's damaged cassette tape. Her Walkman was later found in pieces a few miles away next to a set of bike tracks and tire tracks that led to the road. The grim conclusion was that Tara had been abducted and left these clues in hopes that her rescuers would find her. Witnesses would come forward with information that they saw a white or grey pickup following Tara. News of Tara's disappearance became known nationwide, and the family used the publicity in hopes that they will be able to find her. On June 15, 1989, a woman noticed a dirty white van outside the convenience store she shopped at. She was in Florida, almost 1,200 miles away from New Mexico. After completing her shopping, she realized that the van was gone, but a Polaroid photo was lying on the ground. She was horrified by the contents of the photo. A young woman and a boy gagged and bound in a van, very much like the one that she just saw. This story hit the national news, and the family of a missing boy, Michael Henley, came forward, believing that it was their child in the photo. Patty viewed the photo and also believed that the young woman was Tara, due to a distinctive scar she had on her leg. She also pointed to the copy of a book by V.C. Andrews as further proof that the girl was Tara, as Andrews was her favourite author. Sadly, no real leads came out of this new development. Even worse, some months later, Michael Henley's remains were discovered near to where he had disappeared. The time of his death was determined to be sometime in 1988, disproving the theory that he was the boy in the 1989 photo. With this news, it seemed less likely that Tara was the girl in the photo as well. Despite continuing efforts from Tara's family and investigators, the case would go cold after the discovery of the photo. Patty died in 2006, without ever finding out what happened to her daughter after she left home on a fateful bike ride. 20 years after Tara disappeared, Valencia County Sheriff Rene Rivera publicly stated that he knew what happened to her. He was the lead investigator of her case since 1996. He claims that the murder was committed by 4 teenage boys who killed and buried her after they accidentally knocked her from her bike. He also claims that the boys' parents were involved in the cover-up, explaining why they remained free. Responses to Rivera's claims were mixed. Some believed the girl in the Polaroid photo was indeed Tara, and his claims pointed to the contrary. John, Tara's stepfather, was angered by the theory and felt that Rivera had enough circumstantial evidence to charge the boys with murder. Rivera would leave the force in 2011 without making any arrests. In 2013, a man named Henry Brown arranged for an interview with law enforcement. He was terminally ill and claimed that he knew what happened to Tara and who was responsible. Henry was a classmate of Tara. Shortly after her disappearance, he went to hang out with two classmates, Lawrence Romeo Jr. and Dave Silver, at Lawrence's basement. The trio were drinking margaritas. Henry said he suddenly had a weird feeling and looked towards the floor. He saw a blue tarp and what looked like a small body wrapped up in it. Drunk, Lawrence revealed that the tarp contained Tara's body. Lawrence went on to tell Henry how he and his friends had abducted, assaulted, and murdered Tara. Lawrence, Dave, and another friend, Leroy Chavez, followed Tara in the infamous white truck as she cycled along her daily route. They struck her with their truck and forcibly abducted her before she could get up. The boys drove Tara to a gravel pit and sexually assaulted her. After the assault, Tara stood up and angrily told the boys that she would go to the police and they would all go to jail for what they did to her. Lawrence became enraged and ordered the other boys to hold Tara down while he stabbed her to death using a knife from his truck. The boys then discarded Tara's bike in a junkyard. Originally, Tara was buried in a nearby bush before being moved to Lawrence's backyard when investigations began. It was finally moved to a pond. How was such a cover-up possible? Lawrence was the son of the sheriff at that time. Interestingly, Rene Riviera, the sheriff who claimed to know who killed Tara in 2008, was the deputy at that time and was also alleged to be part of the cover-up. Without any confirmation from the police, Tara's case continues to be an ongoing investigation. Do you believe that Tara was killed by her classmates, given the increasing accounts of a similar story from different people? Or do you feel that she's the girl in the Polaroid photo? Anyway guys, that's it for today. Drop a comment down below on what you think of this video. If you have other stories you wish for me to cover, leave a comment and a link for me to look deeper into it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our latest videos. I'll see you in our next campfire stories. Thank you for watching.